wind is going left to right on the radio dial as we get the first serve underway.
Oh, the counter from Riley Newman. You're going to see that beautiful pancake shot on his forehand volley. And to counter a shot from JW.Johnson like that is just a beautiful thing to watch. Not many could handle it.
Yeah. CJ Klinger making a wise move, slowing that game down just a little bit. He is in a all-black outfit playing with his Proton. He's going to serve back here to Riley Newman in the blue shirt.
Oh yeah, so beautiful, so composed from CJ Klinger. He had so many options, but what he did there was he held his shot, watched Augie come over to the middle of the court to cover, and went right behind him, so composed.
Can you speak to the patience that CJ Klinger and JW.Johnson are showing right now as they're setting up their dinks, pulling their opponents into the right positions? How do you do that as a player?
So first things first, consistency. You got to be able to be consistent, and you have to be able to be accurate on your shots so they're non-attackable. That's what gets all four players up at the kitchen line. That's phase one. Phase two is looking for opportunities for that higher ball where you could put down at your opponent's feet. That's something that takes a lot of patience, as you mentioned. And Augie opting to take off the bounce. Not my favorite shot there, especially against a team that has such quick hands. But you gotta, keep your opponents on check.
Second serve.
Something that's also very interesting about this matchup, Aga and Johnson playing on the Dallas Flash, the reigning MLP champions. So now they're playing against each other here in Red Rock.
CJ Klinger showing a lot of patience as he's dinking up in the kitchen.
Yeah, and after he dinks, he doesn't just stand there. After he dinks, he's lurking with his paddle over the kitchen line, and he sets himself in a position where he could really utilize his length.
Side out.
It's going to go over to Riley Newman and Augustus Guh for the first time this match. Or excuse me, for the second time this match.
Second serve.
CJ Klinger getting it right at Newman's feet there. Couldn't quite get a paddle on it.
1-5-2.
Get it back across the net.
Oh, speed up off the bounce. Newman knows that was low percentage, but he had to give it a try, and the right timing too, on the service possession and at the beginning of the match. That's a time to experiment and find things out about your opponent.
Riley Newman just running out of patience a little bit there as he pops it up to JW.Johnson there, who has extremely fast hands, as you've already talked about. So JW.Johnson able to put that right back at him.
Yeah, and it looked like he thought he had an opportunity in the middle, but JW covered very well and was able to create combo there.
Second serve.
Not being able to put it away that time as JW.Johnson puts that one right into the net.
6-1-2. Side out.
CJ Klinger following suit as the ball goes back over to the
1-6-1.
Newman combo to serve.
Reset out. That's a point.
Just long, no challenge. Or is there a challenge?
Referee timeout.
All right,
We have a
CJ
challenge as the
Klinger
out
is going to
call.
go
The
ahead
out
and
call
challenge.
puts us
So
at
we're going to go
2-6-1,
ahead
but not proceed to
and
video review.
leave.
After review, the call in the court stands. The ball was out. 1 free challenge remaining. Loss of challenge. No free challenge remaining. Resume play at 2-6-1.
So each team has 1 free challenge per game and a timeout. They could use the challenge as a timeout for 45 seconds. CJ Klinger, JW.Johnson lost their free challenge as the call
Second serve.
was did the same.
Ball going into the net there for
2-6-2.
CJ Klinger and JW.Johnson able to put that ball away. Riley Newman popping that ball up to start.
There was a few really good resets. They were trying to stay alive in
6-2-1.
that point. CJ Klinger, JW.Johnson, too good on the offense. All the hands.
Point.
There was a good reset there, allowing that point to continue by Riley Newman.
That was the counter of the game, of this whole tournament. CJ Klinger, Riley Newman hit that ball so hard.
7-2-1.
After CJ hit that ball, he just laughed. Even he was in shock he got that ball back.
Second serve.
Nice look from Augie Guh as he goes to the backhand side. JW.Johnson
7-2-2.
showing that he wanted a forehand.
Point.
So Newman looks like he's just trying to find a speed up against these boys, and it's just not working. JW.Johnson, CJ Klinger, too good on
8-2-2.
their reaction, their anticipation.
Point.
JW.Johnson putting that ball away right at Augie's feet. Not much you can do at that point.
Now Newman and
9-2-2.
Guh, their best option is to just kind of stay into that dink rally and be patient. That's that 1 point they got out of 10. Speeding up the ball.
2-9-1.
Ball going back over to Augie.
Yours. Yeah.
And now if you're a little aware, the slight breeze is going behind the backs of Klinger and JW. That makes it
2-9-2.
harder for Guh and Newman to be defensive and easier for JW and CJ to be offensive. Nice move there from Newman. That's something that he's been looking for this whole game.
Yeah.
Finally got it.
Point.
And Guh with the counter this time. They're feeling good. They're getting a little run.
4-9-2.
Momentum's dangerous in any sport, let alone in pickleball here, as they have tried to get drive after drive, and as the wind shifted, they're able to hit just a little bit harder.
Point.
4-9.
5-9-2.
Go really wanted that. He took a step back, trying to get that back over the net to speed up here. They were able to close the gap to 4 points as it goes back over to JW.Johnson and CJ Klinger for the serve.
Second serve. Nine, 5-2.
If you speed up a ball, you gotta anticipate the counter. You have to. And right now the speed ups are going too high, so right now CJ Klinger and JW.Johnson are hitting down at the feet.
Side out. Five, 10-1.
Another opportunity for Newman and Guh. Newman is usually really good at chaotic points like that one, but was unsuccessful there on the reset.
Side out.
Couldn't quite get that one over the net as it goes back over to CJ Klinger for game point serve.
Oh, miscommunication there in the middle closes it. Game one, Newman and Guh were very, very impatient. So let's see if they could create a little bit more patience here, and they're able to find a little bit more offensive shots as the wind is to their back. The aggressive play wasn't too shabby from Newman and Guh. It's just, Klinger and Johnson are so good. Not only do they have a great offensive game, but they're able to be defensive players as well. So this is trouble for Newman and Guh.
CJ Klinger able to put that ball wherever he wants to on this court, especially up there in the kitchen. Staying patient, but placing that ball has been two really good things for him this match.
And Newman just keeps testing Klinger. I don't understand what's going on here. You usually give him the benefit of the doubt after a couple, but this has been unreal to see how many times Newman has been speeding up against Klinger. And he finally gets the combo. He finally gets the combo. I don't know if you call that stubbornness or what.
0-3-1.
And the tough thing about a new partnership, especially one between a lefty and righty, is that you have two forehands that both players went in the middle, so communication is key. Klinger and Johnson just look so comfortable. They're under control. you know, they just look smooth out there, and that's a scary thing to play up against, right?
Point.
Out in front, CJ Klinger putting that ball down on the backhand side. Beautiful shot.
Just a reminder
Timeout,
that
receiver.
CJ Klinger and JW.Johnson.
Tournaments,
Time
they
in.
did participate and play so well
4-0-1.
together, so that's a little trouble for Newman and Guh. Great gets from Newman. And unlucky or lucky, depends on which team you're rooting for, but off the net, and Guh's unable to get that shot.
5-0-1. Second serve.
JW.Johnson lightly tapping that ball into the net. He wanted that one into the kitchen so bad as CJ
5-0-2.
Klinger goes back to serve for second server.
Ah,
Side
Aki Guh finding a good spot on JW.Johnson there, the right side. We all know that JW.Johnson does a really good job at sitting on the backhand side. He also slides and moves so well to counter, but Guh disguised that
0-5-1.
attack, and that's what made it so successful for the side out.
Second serve.
Feeling his luck, trying another speed up against JW.Johnson. That one's sailing long.
The win definitely more
0-5-2.
noticeable here in St. George.
Side out.
Riley Newman showing a little frustration off that
5-0-1.
point.
Off the bounce and
Point.
out. That's so tough, you know. The speed ups, obviously, for Newman and Guh have not been working. Off the bounce, out of the air.
6-0-1.
Now they have to resort to playing a chess match at the kitchen line, dink a little bit more, be a little bit more patient,
Point.
and wait for opportunities like that. That was a perfect opportunity to counter, and Guh just kind of sat there,
7-0-1.
watched it happen.
Point.
It's going to make it 8-0-1. Here's JW.Johnson serves to
8-0-1.
Riley Newman.
That's the kind of point that I'm looking for.
Second serve.
Yeah, as they were forced back to the very back
Yes,
of the baseline, then they came up again, and then they were forced back once again with that overhead shot.
8-0-2.
That's the patience I want from Guh and Newman. Is it too late, though? And so now with the service possession, we need to see them get to the line and continue the patience.
We did see them go on a little bit of a run last match, so we're gonna see what happens here as Gus serves right over to CJ Klinger.
Second serve.
Tyler, it's so nice having you in the booth. Veteran announcer with D1 Sports.
082.
Yeah, it's great to be here at in St. George. I wish the weather was a little bit warmer as we get to Friday here at the Black Desert Resort Red Rock Open.
Yeah, it dropped tremendously.
801.
Yesterday was 85 degrees, today 70. Yeah, Riley Newman coming in hot with that overhead.
CJ Klinger's credit, he was able to get that ball back over, which was impressive of itself.
Now we get to talk a little bit about the dinking game. So what they're trying to do on the dinking game is try to set themselves up to create out of position players or a pop-up ball to hit down on.
902.
But if you hit that ball a little bit deep into the kitchen, JW is going to own you on that flick.
Point.
CJ Klinger able to put that one away.
Match point.
So all of a sudden with a match point
10-0-2.
scenario for Klinger and Johnson. What?
Point game match, 11-0.
Amazing.